People of our nation mired in toxic partisanship, left versus right, us versus them. While we pay to keep our politicians fighting, how do we, the people, rise up and solve the great challenges of our time? We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, welcome everybody to A Free Solution. So happy to have you here. Give me a chunk of your afternoon. Larry Sharp here, host of the Sharp Way Show, but also the host of A Free Solution. Yes, here on WYSL Rochester, WENY in Elmira, Corning, The Patriot, and WACK in Newark, New York, The Cool New York. Reach out to me, 585-346-3000. Well, I know everyone's talking Cuomo. I got it. Everyone is talking his apology and all that stuff. I got it. But I want to do something a little bit different this time. I do. I want to talk about the distraction that he used during his press conference when he was trying to tell us how sorry he was or whatever he was doing. I do want to go to the distraction parts that he brought up, that some people probably didn't get exactly what he was doing. If you noticed, he didn't lead with his I'm sorry, his mea culpa. He didn't do that. He led with a bunch of other stuff, right? Other stuff. One of the things he led with is COVID, because only he can protect us, and without him, we'd all be dead. So we have to make sure that, we do that. But he also did something else. As he was talking COVID, he supported Biden and kind of re-invoked Trump without saying Trump. Now, why would he want to do that? I think everyone knows Trump's not the president anymore, right? I think we figured that one out. Biden's the president now. Trump hasn't gone away. He's not president. So he brought up Trump. Why? Because when you bring up Trump, that scares Democrats. It's true. Democrats are listening. You know what I'm talking about. People bring up Trump. That's the uniter, right? The funny part is when it comes to the right, Obama was the uniter, right? The best gun salesman of all time was Barack Obama. The President Obama got all the 2A people scared, and they were buying guns left and right. And the non-2A people were scared. They were buying guns left and right. So that was great for them. The opposite is Trump. Trump unites Democrats. They all hate Trump. So if I'm Cuomo, I got to make sure you realize Trump is still there. Bad guy's still there. Still be scared of Orange Man. Be scared. I will defend you. That was part one. So he's hoping that people will still support him because of their fear that Trump might come back out of the corner, jump outside and bite him or something, whatever Trump does, right? The bad, evil Trump, whatever he does. They're scared. Sadly, he's right. If you saw some of the people who defend him now to this day, these are the people who are the most rabid anti-Trump people on the left. A lot of those people are really supporting him. Not all. Some are still against him, but many are. They're like, you know what? Yeah, he was grabbing people, but he'll defend us against Trump. And Trump's evil and the horriblest thing in the world, so maybe it's okay. So that was part one. But that's not enough. There's a second part to what he did that a lot of people didn't notice. He spoke about not only how bad Trump was, but how amazing Biden is. Biden is doing all these great things. Biden is amazing. Look at all the awesome things that Biden's doing. And he brought that up for some very specific reasons. The first one is Biden hasn't said much about this. He's kind of like looking around. Cuomo. I don't know. I think I heard this guy once. Who's this Cuomo guy? I don't know what you're talking about. That's kind of where Biden's been. So Cuomo wants to make sure that, no, I'm here. And he wants the assembly to know, New York State Assembly and Senate, that he's tight with Biden. Why would they care? Because Biden bucks are coming. That's why. Biden bucks are coming. And this is about the cash. This is how Cuomo controls people, through the pocketbook. That's why he wants all the money and the vaccines or whatever it else is going through Albany. Because if he controls it, you got to be good to the king. You don't want to give the king his due. The king is not going to give you his little crumbs. You got to give tribute to the king so the king can give you the crumbs. You think I'm joking? I'm not. When that money comes in, when the Biden bucks come in, who's going to decide where it goes? Cuomo administration. And if you're going to be mean to Cuomo, guess you're not getting those Biden bucks, are you? Guess it's not coming to your county, your district, your area. Did it on purpose. That was a veiled threat. It was a veiled threat. And some people got it loud and clear. Some people didn't, but some did. That was absolutely a veiled threat. People were looking at that and going, that guy's saying he's not going to give me my Biden bucks. Yeah, that's exactly what he was saying. It was a veiled threat to actually keep people in check. Then, after that, he now goes, I'm so sorry. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Because the hope was, if he does the veiled threat, if he lets them know that Biden's still on my side, I got the Biden bucks in my pocket, that you will somehow be nice or better to him or just shake your fist. But he did something else. He was able to double down on his executive power, in theory, without doubling down on his executive power. He said, well, now they're going to be able to check me in 24 hours or whatever that is. So now the legislature can check me in 24 hours. See, now it's okay, but you still need me. And then he moved it directly. Into, I have to keep it until Biden says I can't have it anymore. Now, how did he do that? If you watch what he said, well, I have to keep these until the federal government says COVID is no longer an emergency. Well, my buddy Biden, who not only is going to have a 1.9 trillion giveaway, soon, a couple more months, we're going to have another giveaway. Hey, it's raining Biden bucks. I got the wallet. Who am I going to give it to? You keep messing with me, you don't get my Biden bucks. And I really think that was a big reason why he did what he did, why he linked himself to Biden so much, why he was so good to Biden so much, and why he said he should stay in power as long as Biden says it's okay. All of a sudden now the establishment says, damn, he's in trouble. But not that much trouble. Because if the establishment has his back, that is a big deal. If the establishment has his back, that's a big deal. That's a bunch of money coming our way. So that's the first part that he brought up. But he wasn't done. He made a second piece that was distraction. Also very savvy. Very savvy. The second piece is he said, we have to worry about public safety. You might remember that one. Public safety. He did that after he was talking about COVID.
Elijah Buffalo.
Because then it sounds like, well, public safety is COVID. But then he literally connected that to police forces. As if the biggest part of public safety is your police force. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about police reform. Let's reform the cops. Okay, let's do that. But only do that if you're unhappy with your police force. Not His Majesty King Andrew Cuomo II, oh Hitler King. Everyone must reform their police force. They must give him a plan. But why would you throw that piece up? Two reasons. One, if you remember what he said, if you don't give me the plan, there'll be economic sanctions. that went with the other part. Do as I say, or you don't get the money. That's how he controls you. But he said out loud, I'm not telling you what to do. But if you don't do it, I'm not giving you money. So I'm kind of telling you what to do. That's what he did with public safety. I mean, I could walk on that for the next 20 minutes, but I won't. I'm going to grab a quick call. I love when we get the fast calls, and it's amazing. Going to grab Elijah from Buffalo. How are you, Elijah?
Hey, Larry. I'm doing great. I see you're doing well also.
I'm not sure that's true, but I'm trying.
Okay, I gotcha. Hey, I had a quick question for you. But first, I just want to let you know, about 2 years ago, I used to be a socialist in the Green Party.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I got into a little spat on Instagram comments. I don't remember what it was. I've since deleted the Instagram account. But now I'm sure you must have been right, whatever it was.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad.
You're very welcome. It must have been about some minimum wage or something like that. But anyways, so before I ask this question, I want to let you know I got nothing but love for you, and I'm not looking to have a debate. I just want to get your thoughts on something. So
no worries. You can debate and be mad at me too. I love people to stay in my world, whether you love me or hate me or anything in between. So please go ahead.
Well, that's what's beautiful about libertarians. But anyways, so one of the reasons why I'm a libertarian is not just because it's a better solution for, things like education and wages and things like that. That's true. Yeah. But I'm also libertarian because I believe that everybody has the right to be left alone, especially people with less power.
Yes.
Should have the right to be left alone from people with more power, right?
Yes.
So here's a philosophical question for you. And if you want to take more time than just this immediate answer to get back to me on it, then I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. But why should libertarians not also believe that animals should have the right to be left alone by humans? Not the right to vote, not the right to a minimum wage, not the right to property, but just like, hey, I can eat this other thing instead of using my power to, kill an animal and then feed myself with it when I could just eat this plant instead. Where does the philosophy stop? And, I'm a libertarian and a vegan for that exact reason, not because I love animals, but just because I'm like, I can leave that thing alone and eat a plant instead. So I'm just looking for your thoughts on that. That's all.
No, I'm happy to walk down this road. I walk down any road. And before we even go there, I want the people listening to realize you came from the left and you became a libertarian.
Yeah, I'm still center left.
Yes, I know it. And that's my point. Yeah. A lot of people think that all libertarians are right. They're not. Libertarians are left, right, and everything in between. So I want to cover this, Elijah. Can you stay with me through the break?
Yes, absolutely. I'd love
Awesome. Stay with me. After the break, I will cover exactly what you talked about. Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution, 585-346-3000. Back after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
When you've been seriously injured in a car crash, you need a lawyer who knows how to beat the big insurance companies. Call me and I'll take them on so you can focus on your health and family.
Car crash, call Salino. Salino, call Salino. 888-2020.
Main Street, Rochester. A message from the National Police Association. It used to be that any able-bodied person would offer to assist a police officer in danger. Now, passers-by are more likely to take a video. There's a better use for your phone when an officer's in trouble. Call 911. Tell the operator where you are and what you see. Then, start your video to provide evidence later. To learn more about how you can assist law enforcement, visit nationalpolice.org. That's nationalpolice.org.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to Simple Tech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that Simple Tech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at Simple Tech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at Simple Tech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
Hey guys, welcome back to A Free Solution. I'm Larry Sharp, host of the Sharp Way Show, but right now, so lucky, host of A Free Solution here on WYSL Rochester, WENY, Elmira and Corning, the Patriot, WACK in Newark, New York, 585-346-3000. On the phone with Elijah, and he asked me a very important question. He said, how do you get this libertarian view and shift it into animals, right? People need to be left alone. Why don't animals need to be left alone? And I think it's a valid question. It's a valid piece to talk about. It absolutely is. So let me cover a couple of these things if I could. Elijah, you still with me?
I sure am, bud.
Awesome. All right. Your point's a valid one. The issue is nature, culture, and at what point do we consider something sentient, right? At what point do we decide that? All those are tough questions, right? Do you consider a chimpanzee, right? If you look at science, some people have decided a very simple idea that if you recognize that you are mortal, then you are a sentient being. And I'm saying some scientists say that. The question is, where does that go? Plants feel pain too. Do I then go to plants are alive? You're killing life. Where do you draw that line? Now, I know people tease and say, I don't eat anything with a face, right? And that's a line that people draw. So I think a line has to be drawn someplace. And it's not easy to draw that line when, literally, if you go back 200 years, we drew a line that humans were still property and weren't even considered sentient or even considered valid. So to draw a line even further down that line is even harder. I think you find many people who have drawn that line down to primates. Many people have. But even some know. They say it's humans and other animals, and that's it. There's nothing else. So one of the problems becomes, where do you draw that line? That's number one. The second is, how do we eat? How do we feed ourselves? How do we make all that happen also? And I don't mean necessarily physically. I also mean the desire. A lot of people want to eat meat, feel they should eat meat. It's part of their culture. It's part of who they are. That's part of their, even their background. So how do you make that shift? You can add on top of it, a whole lot of people make money off the meat industry. So now you've got livelihoods and cash and everything around that, government around that. Doing that is a huge shift to make culturally and with humans. But I would actually try to mix it into the idea of being vegan. If you want this to happen, the right way to make this happen is a libertarian answer. And the example I'll give you is New York City. In New York City, if you go back 15 years, when Bloomberg was trying to outlaw 16-ounce sodas over 16 ounces, there was a massive backlash. And people were getting bigger ones. 7-Eleven had this super duper gulp. And like, we're going to drink even more soda. We'll show you. But what didn't we do in New York City when it came to diet? We didn't try to force veganism. And if you go back 20 years, you would struggle to find vegan restaurants in New York City. I mean, now because of COVID, you can't find anything. But scratching COVID, move fast forward 15 years, there's a vegan joint in like every block in New York City now. Because people began to realize, hey, to your point, I don't have to eat an animal. It's not required. And it will help me. And people either have decided in general, they do it because of the moral issue of eating another being. That's option one. Or two, they do it because they believe it's an environmental issue, but they've chosen another way. Some people choose because of health also. Depends on the situation. But those are kind of the reasons why people have chosen veganism. But it hasn't been a law. It hasn't been forced. And veganism is growing. Right? It's getting stronger, if anything. The idea of shutting down the sodas actually retarded that growth, right? If you look now, you actually find soda companies putting out smaller cans of Coke, smaller cans of Pepsi, smaller cans of soda. The market can answer for this, absolutely, if we decide so. The next piece I'll say is, how am I going to get people to either stop eating meat or decide to not eat, humans, please don't eat humans, not eating other animals? Well, one of the answers would be factory-made meat, laboratory-made meat that wasn't made from a living being, if that makes any sense, that was basically cured in a laboratory. And I think that's happening now too. So I think the way you do what you want to do is the way I always say it. Get people to believe it. And when people begin to believe it and agree with you, everything else changes. It's how it works.
I agree. Yeah.
So that would be my answer. I think your question is a valid question. It's a tough situation to deal with. But I think if you get people to think the way you want them to think, everything else changes and the market can answer it.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said, especially around the market. No, I mean, so much of our tax dollars is going to farms that engage in nothing other than, absolute, lack of care for the animal well-being.
100% true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Libertarian Party is by far the friendliest party to animals. So I absolutely agree with you. And just by the way,
what's also happening is you see the market is also doing it to where they're trying to give some value to people who treat their animals better. And you're finding that if you have to slaughter chickens, at least do it in a humane way and at least give them a good life before you kill them, right? At a minimum. And I think you find more people actually joining in that, again, without laws.
Absolutely. And by the way, just I thought a lot about where to draw the line, and then I'll please move on after this. But I draw the line at somebody or something's ability to suffer. So I feel like if I stomp a spider that's in my apartment out of existence, it did not suffer.
Okay.
Whereas what happens to animals, they absolutely do suffer. So that's where I draw, regardless of their intelligence, just can they suffer? If the answer is yes, I don't want them to suffer. What can I do to make them not suffer? That's all it is.
Then would you be okay with a world to where you allow the cows or chickens or pigs to basically live a free range lifestyle, and then when they're slaughtered, it's one of those metal rods to the head that kill them instantly? They don't even know they've been killed. They don't suffer. Would that be acceptable for someone like you?
It's definitely less unacceptable than what currently happens. I'm also pro-choice, so I don't inherently put a value on life, which sounds bad, but I don't think that life inherently has value. I think it's more about the ability to suffer, right? And that's why I've decided to be pro-choice as well. So you're right. Yeah, that's an excellent point.
There we go. We are rock and rolling. Good conversations here on A Free Solution. I knew we could do it. Elijah, thank you so much for the call.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great rest of your day.
All righty. Guys, thank you so much for giving me a part of your afternoon. I hope that was an interesting point for us to go back and forth philosophically. Way off topic, but still awesome. I got more stuff after the break, I tell you, I'm sure. Larry Sharp, a free solution, 585-346-3000. Back after the break.
Don't support violence.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. We'll be looking at partly cloudy skies, cold out there. We're going to drop down well into the teens, and there will be a bit of a breeze at times. On Friday, a windy, cold day, sun and clouds in the 20s. Could be around the snow showers Friday night into Saturday morning, maybe some light accumulations. Those will clear up Saturday afternoon, but staying cold with temps in the 20s and 30s. I'm Rich Cadelia, WYSL.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
WYSL.
Camp Good Days is once again, with the help of Vanderstein Toyota and Toyota USA, hosting a car raffle. Tickets are 1 for $20, 3 for $50. If you win, you receive a brand new 2021 Toyota Corolla SE. All the proceeds from the car raffle benefit the children and families of Camp Good Days. The winning ticket will be pulled on April 15th, 2021. Get your tickets now by calling the Camp Good Days office at 585-624-5555 or by visiting campgooddays.org.
Escape from the everyday to a getaway at Woodcliff Hotel and Spa. Woodcliff features elegantly appointed accommodations, creative cuisine, themed suites, full-service spa. Elan and is Rochester's best venue for outdoor wedding receptions overlooking the city skyline. Woodcliff Hotel and Spa, where the experience is extraordinary. Located in Fairport, call 585-381-4000 or visit woodcliffhotelspa.com.
Searching for a school with 5-day-a-week in-person instruction for students in grades pre-K through 12 that doesn't compromise your traditional values? Archangel School is the answer. With small class sizes and affordable tuition, your child will receive an education that's Common Core free, academically challenging, authentically Catholic, and faithfully patriotic. Come to Archangel School's open house Friday, March 12th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. or schedule a private tour at archangelschool.com or call 585-247-1112.
The historic family furniture building has been totally remodeled. The savings are historic too. Get $50 off purchases of $4.99, $100 off $9.99, and $350 off $34.99. Amazing discounts on Restonic Biltmore sleep sets. Add an adjustable base to any queen mattress for just $3.99. Shop sofas, recliners, dining furniture, and flooring. 0% financing for qualified purchasers. The grand reopening sale at Family Furniture in downtown Perry. Open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday 9 to 5:30. Thursday 9 to 7. Saturday 9 to 4.
An experienced professional with more than 15 years in dentistry, Dr. David Olivo welcomes new patients to his family practice at 2005 Lyle Avenue. At the office of Dr. Olivo, he'll discover a warm and comforting environment staffed by professionals who are committed to providing the best available dental care while assuring your complete comfort. Call 328-3382 for an appointment. Dr. David Olivo, offering quality dentistry with a gentle touch.
With colder weather coming, know that Turnbull, your York certified comfort expert dealer, has the highest quality, most reliable York systems with the best warranty in the business. Install confidence this winter season with Turnbull Heating in York. 10-year parts and labor warranty, 0 interest up to 18 months, more than $300 in utility rebates, and 24/7 service by certified Turnbull technicians. Install confidence this season with Turnbull and York.
You'll be comfortable with the best. Turnbull Heating and Air.
Call 343-2005 and Avon 226-6180.
Tom Walls has made small batches of root beer in each store since 1955. I'm Riley, and I want to cook you the juiciest cheeseburger, crispiest fries, and serve you a Tom Walls frosted mug of root beer.
Tom Walls.
A free solution.
Hey, it's Larry Sharp here, back on a free solution. Thank you for giving me a few minutes of your afternoon. Look, this show is on 5 days a week. So if you want to make sure you're able to hear us every single day at noon, you can like us on Facebook or like us on YouTube right now on A Free Solution. And you can hear us all the time on WYSL in Rochester, New York, WENY, Elmira and Corning, and of course, WACK in Newark, New York. I want to grab a couple of comments. A lot of them been coming in, and then I want to go back to some other pieces if we can. But I did like the vegan question. I thought it was amazing. I think people enjoyed it, and they, pretty much jumped on board here. Let me grab a couple if I can. Let's see here. So many of them. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. Karen said, I believe a voluntary society like one proposed by Rothbard is possible in a few generations. Do you agree? Kareem says, I think, yeah, we could do it. It's possible. It would take time for us to accept that you don't have to be forced to do things. I really think that's what it takes. So, yeah. Joe says, nails and teeth are part of defensive and offensive means to eat other animals. I think you're right? I think most people would agree that logically humans were made to eat both plants and animals or to be omnivores. I think that's true. It doesn't mean we have to, though. And I think Elijah's point is you don't have to. You can, but you don't have to. I think if you wanted to, you should be able to choose. I think he's totally right. Keith says, you be you and I'll eat beef, pork, venison, chicken, and turkey. Yes, Keith. Perfect. I agree. I want this to be voluntary. And if people want to not eat those animals, they shouldn't. At the same time, I think Elijah has a point. Do we have to be mean about it? We don't. It's not required to torture the cow, the pig, the deer, the chicken, or the turkey before you eat them. And I think many hunters actually think that. People who are hunting. If you're hunters out there, the goal is one shot, one kill, quick kill. That's the goal. If the animal's suffering, you physically take it out as soon as you get there. You don't want the animal to suffer. You want to respect the animal, and you want to eat the animal, and you want to respect it. So you can do both. And I think you're finding more people deciding that they care about how the animal's treated, which I agree with, right? I'm one of those guys who would rather have organic, free range food. I would. And I try to purchase it when I can. My wife's the same way. We try to when we can. And the more options they give us, we pay extra. For those of you who don't know this, in New York City, you can spend easily $5, $6 for a dozen eggs. I know you in Western New York are like, what? I get my eggs for like $1 a dozen or something. I know. But, we're the hippies here who want free range, organic eggs, whatever. And so we pay for it. So, yes, if you want to pay for it, you should, Keith. It's your money, your food. You do you. I'm in. So Jean said, is it Jean or Jeanne? I think Jean, right? My opinion is that if we were not supposed to be omnivores, we would have different teeth. If someone chooses not to eat meat, that's fine for them. It's a choice. Yes, 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 and yes. I appreciate all of those things, guys. Kareem says the free market is orienting itself towards more vegan options. That's true. And Americans are eating less meat. Also true. If you don't force people to be vegan, the free market will provide a solution. Yes, yes, and yes. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on board this very odd topic. Thank you so much. I appreciate seeing your views. I do want to move, if I could, back to the Biden-Cuomo connection. That wasn't just a random thing. That was a way of him protecting himself, bringing in Big Daddy Biden to protect himself. It absolutely is. Joe says, I wonder if Biden will insist on having his name on the checks like Trump did. You know, I don't think so. I think what Biden wants, and this is my opinion, is he wants some big act or law with his name on it. Like he wants the Biden vaccine plan or, you know, Biden care or something like that. I think he wants that or the Biden Social Justice Act or something. I don't think he cares about checks. That's not his thing. He's worried about a legacy. He's not worried about the next election. I don't think he's going to run next time. I think he wants some kind of legacy like FDR or something or Obamacare. If he could get that, he's a happy man. That's what he wants. His name on something. I don't think a check. That's my view. Kareem says it's raining hyperinflation. I don't think till the next crash. I think this crash, it won't. I think we're just going to throw so much money at it. We're going to lower interest rates to nothing, which are almost already there. And I think this is our last chance that we get without hyperinflation. And what people don't realize always is as you keep lowering the interest rates, servicing the debt becomes a lot easier. So even though you're pumping the money into the economy, in theory, you should have more inflation. You don't have as much because servicing the debt becomes less expensive. So your actual monthly fees that you're paying out aren't really as high as you would think. But at one point that does run out. My gut says it's the next one, not this one. I hope that makes sense to you. He also says the biggest part of safety is the Second Amendment and private security, like threat management. Yes. So let me touch that piece now. Let me go back to his idea of public safety. He brought up public safety, saying it's important. You can't have an effective, state or city if people don't feel safe. And when that happens, when you bring up public safety, people think about things like busted up sidewalks where people will trip, hazardous material, things like that, open sewers. People think about that kind of thing, right? Maybe dealing with your homeless issue or addiction problems, things like that. Somebody thought. He immediately brought up George Floyd with public safety and then talked about police reform without saying police reform. That is a gift to the further left part of the Democratic Party, the defund the police part of the Democratic Party. And literally they're up in Congress right now talking about defunding police, all those things, right? They're discussing that now. So that was, see, I'm still one of you guys. Don't abandon me. That's what that was. Everything leading up to his apology, I'm doing air quotes, his apology was, guys, don't abandon me. I'm still one of you, and I still own the Biden bucks. So you can't abandon me. That is what I think you saw was happening. But the part that bothers me most about that is what I said earlier. It's not that I'm against police reform. I'm not. If you are unhappy with your police force, please reform it. You should be policed the way you want to be policed. And I know there are people in New York City who are unhappy. some people in Rochester who are unhappy. Please reform your police. Of course. What about the people in, I don't know, Batavia? Are they unhappy with their police force? I don't know. Why should they have to change if they're not? Hamburg, Warsaw, Avon. Should these people all be changing their police forces too? Well, if your name is King Andrew Cuomo II, oh, Hitler King, you must. You must. You must have a plan to reform your police force, and that is under the guise of public safety. What if you don't think that's a big chunk of public safety? He doesn't care. What if you're happy with your police force? He doesn't care. So I want to be clear. I'm for police reform. Absolutely. You've heard me say it. I've given you my plans for police reform. And all of my plans include a very important caveat. If you're unhappy with your police force, you're not required to do this. If you like how you're being policed, life is good. Move on. I'm sure there are other problems in your area, in your locality, that you'd rather deal with, but not if you're him. He pushed this on purpose. And that's the part that bothers me more than anything, is he pushed it on purpose, not because he actually cares, because he doesn't. And he's making sure everybody does it because he has to force you. Doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. It matters what he says. The selfishness, the calculation is both impressive and disgusting. It is both. So I've been both impressed and disgusted in one. I love it. More comments, more stuff after the break. Larry Sharp of Free Solution, 585-346-3000. Back after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to Simple Tech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that Simple Tech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at Simple Tech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at Simple Tech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bourne.
And I'm Danica Bourne.
And we're the owners of South Coast Tax. We would like to thank our Lord for protecting us from evil. Psalm 91 states, "He is my refuge and my fortress, for he will rescue us from every trap and protect us from deadly disease."
South Coast Tax are Christian-based tax accountants and attorneys who specialize in releasing bank levies, wage garnishments, and filing complex tax returns. We are the leaders in acceptance of offers and compromise with awesome results.
We are also a small firm who will treat you like family and not just a number.
Call us today at 1-800-TAX-1176 for a free consultation, and we'll take the time to explain all of the programs that you qualify for in order to allow you a fresh start.
In John 8:36, so if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. And one way we can achieve that is by being debt-free. So let us help you today. Call us at 1-800-TAX-1176, and together we can help achieve this goal by putting the IRS tax debt behind you for good. Again, that number is 1-800-TAX-1176.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
Larry Sharp back here, host of the Sharp Way Show. Please follow me on the cool internet things. Follow me on Facebook if you want to. I love that on Sharp Way, but not just Sharp Way. Remember, this show goes 5 days a week, and the super cool Kevin Wilson is also here. We even had the amazing Andrew Hollister back on this show. Nothing but cool people. Follow us on Facebook and on YouTube. A free solution. Yeah, I'm bugging you to follow me, but it's important. I'm here in WYSL, Rochester, New York, WENY, Elmira recording, The Patriot, WACK, Newark, New York. I want to bring up some more comments that we've had here because we've had a bunch of them. Some of them about the vegan stuff, which is amazing. I'm so happy that we're still talking about that. It's actually very interesting, but also about Biden too. So Missy says, I tried vegan and vegetarian. My body needs the red meat and protein. Well, there we go. Maybe one day we'll have a delicious lab-made burger that you can eat, that if you want to eat it. Some people I know do not want lab meat at all, and some people can't wait. Guess what? The market will decide. Some people will jump on it, some people won't. And it's okay. I actually don't mind that at all. So let me move on to, Kareem says, wouldn't it be better to privatize the police rather than reform it, or at least get rid of qualified immunity so that incentives to behave safely exist? I did have an actual policy, an idea for reforming police. Part of that dealt with qualified immunity. But I don't want to tell a local community how to be policed. If a community decides to privatize their police force, and some cities have done that, good on you. I don't want to decide that. I think it could be a better option depending upon where you are. And I think local people should decide. If you're happy or satisfied with your police force and there are other issues that are more pressing, deal with those. If police is more pressing, deal with that. I'm actually happy for any of those ideas. I'm not against any of them. Whatever's going to work for your local area. Totally happy. Again, you do you. That's what I'm constantly saying. Absolutely. So John says, there was a recent couple of articles claiming that lab meat is actually better quality. Wow. All right, I got to check that one out. I love that idea. Can you imagine if we could make lab meat that was actually better or higher quality, however you decide quality like that, that it's better? That would be amazing. I hope it's true, because then people could choose not to do that. We talk all the time about global warming, constantly hear climate change all the time. What's one of the biggest contributors to this? The meat industry, without question. And no one will doubt that. Knocking down forests, which clean our air so that we can put more cows, and then cow burps and cow farts and all those things, right? Everyone knows that. It's absolutely true. So if we actually had lab meat, you'd have less cows, whatever amount, I don't know. But let's say just 25% of people decided they liked lab meat better than, actual cows. You'd cut back on cows by 25%. More forests, less cow farts and cow burps. You actually can deal with this with science without having to force government down our throats. We could even deal with climate change without having to force stuff down our throats, right? We would voluntarily put that meat down our throats, right? Because you like it better, or it's higher quality, or you care about the planet, or whatever is the thing you want to do. And here's the best part. If you create that, people get to virtue signal and to be woke and to win the woke off without having to punish others. See, look, I'm eating the lab meat. I'm woker than you. Done. I can virtue signal all day long and not bother anybody else. Not a bad deal. I like that deal. I'm with you, John. I hope it's true. I hope it's absolutely true. Let's see if I can grab a couple more. I know a lot of people are commenting, and I appreciate all the comments you guys keep giving me. I really do. So Andrew says, I have heard of people eating horse meat. Has anyone actually eaten horse meat? And what's everyone's take on it? I think lots of people used to eat horse meat. It was a common thing. The problem why most people didn't eat horse meat is because the horse was too valuable of an animal. It wasn't worth it, right? I mean, the horse is going to, move your plow, move your troops in combat, be a cavalry a horse. I mean, it's going to do so many things. It just drives me crazy. So, all right, Bridget, please talk about A.J. Parkinson. All right. Some of you may not know what that is. So, Bridget, I'm going to bring this up for you because you asked, because I care. Cuomo loves to quote people, and he comes up with quotes, and he says the quote is by A.J. Parkinson. A.J. Parkinson doesn't exist. That is someone that his father made up to sound like he was saying cool things. So he would say a quote and then say A.J. Parkinson. And then people go, oh, that must be great. Let me go look up A.J. Parkinson and figure out who this great guy is. But they wouldn't. They would just believe that Cuomo's father, His Majesty King His Majesty King Cuomo the First, all hail the king, when he came up with that. So, of course, his son follows suit and does the same thing, right? Well, the problem is that's an inside joke. And I don't mind an inside joke. But if it's an inside joke, do it inside your group or let us in on the joke. Let us in, right? I actually don't mind. Let us in. Tell us it's a joke. Are you going to have people actually looking up A.J. Parkinson? Are you guys going to have people? You're also being a real jerk by trying to sound smarter than you are, by trying to say what you want to say and attribute to someone else. It's really a crappy thing to do if you don't let us in on a joke. It can be funny. I'm sure some people would laugh at it. I wouldn't, but somebody would. So let us in on a joke and we'll move on. So, Bridget, thank you for that. Yeah, but that's A.J. Parkinson. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Andrew says it's Cuomo's invisible friend. Well, he doesn't have any others, so he might as well have an invisible one. There aren't any other friends, and you're seeing that now. And I want to bring that piece up, Andrew. I'm glad you brought that up. Look at the backlash that Cuomo's getting. Remember a similar one, Al Franken. When Al Franken got in trouble, a lot of people were surprised. They didn't want to lose him. They defended him. They still got rid of him because he silly ended his career. Not that I was an Al Franken fan. He just should not have left for that. He was canceled for nothing. For those of you who don't remember Al Franken, there was a picture of him pretending, looking like he was grabbing the breasts of a sleeping woman on a plane. He was a comedian, literally. He was a comedian going to either going to or coming from entertaining troops in the Middle East. It was a joke. It's like, I'm going to go get her because she's sleeping. And that was the end of the world. And he literally stepped down. Again, not that I'm an Al Franken fan, but that's not a reason to step down.
1 minute.
Cuomo does it. And when he has problems, everyone goes, yeah, that's him. He did it. Believe it. They all believe it. Think about what kind of personality you have that when you're accused, your friends don't support you. I would hope that if I got accused, you might go, yeah, Larry might have done it. But I hope you don't go, yeah, Larry, that's him. Totally did that. I hope you won't do that. But when it comes to Cuomo, everybody's like, yeah, he so did it. Personality matters. Empathy matters. Feelings matter. It all matters. I hope that you have some good feeling and some good empathy this week Thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. Larry Sharp on A Free Solution. I will see you in a couple days.